Hi guys, Marshall Burtcher here, and if you're new to me, I help codependents rediscover their happiness by healing their trauma, discovering who they are, and creating happy relationships in their lives within 12 months or less. That's what I do. That's my magic. So, yeah, you're in the right place if you're looking for healing, for self-discovery, and for happy relationships after narcissistic abuse. Okay. Today, this is a recording. I made this a few days ago because I'm on holiday right now, but I wanted to continue to train you guys in how relationships work and how I help you create a happy, sustainable relationship in your life. So, just before we get to that, if you're on YouTube, hit that subscribe button, and if you're looking for a safe haven here on the internet, go to the link above. It's called the community. That's where you can find shelter, guidance, and support, where you're seen, valued, and understood in your experience. And click that link, join the community today, and you'll get more expertise, more guidance, and more support in your journey in thriving and healing, thriving, and enjoying life beyond codependency. Okay, so today we're going to talk about what's called functional compatibility. So, previous training we talked about the 4 zones of connection, which is compatibility, which is connection, intimacy, support, and play. Today we're going to talk about 5 components of those 4 zones that create compatibility in a functional way. That's why they're called functional compatibilities or functional components for functional compatibility. So what on earth do I mean when I say functional compatibility? Functional compatibility is the basic reason the thing works. So think of it like a shoe. You got a shoe, you put the shoe on, it helps you do what shoes do, which is walk in a comfortable way. That doesn't mean you like the shoe. That doesn't mean that the shoe is ideal. It doesn't mean it might even be the right size. It doesn't mean that you like the way it looks or the way it feels to you, but it functions, it works, it does the job. It talks to the necessity of the thing, right? What its basic nature is. So in relationships, we have 5 fundamental functional components in our world. And it's basically an acronym that spells CAT in a weird way, but CCAAT. Okay, so the first one is communication. That's a fundamental. Without communication, you don't really have a relationship. Instead, you're talking to a wall, or you don't have connection, you don't have intimacy, you don't have support, and you don't have play without effective communication, right? So communication is the idea of being able to comprehend and understand what the other person is attempting to convey to you. So that means you've got to understand their context. You've got to understand the meaning of their words. It's the nonverbal signals, the tone, the pacing, the way their body is moving. Communication is about comprehension and understanding. So that's fundamental component, the functional component, number 1 of compatibility is being able to communicate and understand each other. Because from understanding, then you can create compromise, you can create cooperation, and you can build bridges between differences and understand things that you'll have oppositional compatibility to, meaning that they don't work together, and work around that. So communication is essential. It's essential number 1. Second one is what I call conflict. How do we handle conflict? How does conflict operate with us? What is safe conflict for me? What is violent or unsafe or violating conflict for me? Those kind of things. And the goal with conflict, at least in my approach, is to build intimacy. It's to build trust, and it's to build understanding of each other. And without conflict functioning well, then you don't get problems solved. You're not able to work through miscommunications, mistakes, incompatibilities, or differences in an effective way. Instead, you're going to end up in the land of right and wrong. You're going to end up in the land of power and of control and coercion, rather than consent, understanding, and agreement. So that's fundamental. That's the second function or our fundamental component of compatibility there. The third one is attachment. And so attachment has to deal with how we bond emotionally with another human being. Do I have an anxious attachment approach? Am I avoidant? Am I fearful avoidant? Am I dismissive? Am I preoccupied? Understanding your set point, where you start off in attachment, allows you to navigate your needs for generating safety in bonding with another human being and then maintaining that safety and vulnerability in an effective way. This applies to, and now guys, all of these apply to all four quadrants. So think about it. What does attachment look like in companionship? Well, I like to have them physically close a lot. I like to have their verbal and reassurance. Okay, boom, got that. In intimacy, what does attachment look like there? It's like I'm safe to ask for what I want. I like physical touch. I want to be connected to them that way. And support attachment is being allowed to solve my own problems and not being controlled in the solutions that I choose. And then in play, attachment is about being free to express myself and then receive from you that way. So that's an example of how attachment shows up in all four of those areas. This is how we design effective relationship, because then when I can understand what I need in those areas with attachment, I can communicate it to the person. I can identify whether or not they're showing up that way. And ultimately, I can understand what I need and what I want and advocate for it. So that's another example there. So we got attachment. Then we have what's called availability. Availability is your capacity to be present and to receive and to contribute something in the interaction. So in companionship, how much time do I have to give them? How much tolerance do I have for physical presence and physical engagement? I mean, your social energy type gets really into that. That would be, am I introverted, ambiverted, extroverted? Those kind of things. The availability and intimacy. Am I actually emotionally available? Am I available for connection? Do I have capacity and space to hold for another human being and their pain and their emotions? Am I available for love and to give love? Things like that. Availability and support. Do I have capacity to contribute by holding space for them, by sharing experiences with them, by confronting disagreements that they might have with me, that kind of thing. And then in play, am I available to play? Am I in connection with my inner child so that I can bring creativity, spontaneity, and adventure to the relationship? Do I even know what that is for me? So you're starting to see how these fundamentally affect the four zones of connection and produce certain results. Very, very important. And so that brings us to the last one out of the CCAAT arrangement, and that is trust. Can I trust them in the companionship? Do I feel safe with them? Does my body feel safe with them? Do I feel safe like I would be physically protected with them? Does my emotional vulnerability feel secure with them? Do I feel trusting that they will support me, that they will show up for me, that they will care for me? Do I trust that they'll protect me and be mindful of me as we play? Sorry, guys. I got dinner back there, so I apologize for that. These are things that we need to explore in these four zones of connection, because with these 5 functions of compatibility, these fundamentals to it, when these are in positive operation in the relationship's going to have a very clear honesty to it. It's going to work or it's going to not, because you're compatible or you're not. But if they're not operating well, you're not going to be able to connect with and understand what is working, what isn't, what you need and what you want, and what needs to change. So that's how we start really building compatibility in a relationship. We're going to start with those 5 first functional compatibility components and understand deeply what they are for us individually, so that we can then communicate them and demonstrate them to the other people in the relationship, as well as identify them in others. See, one of the tricks here to identifying people we can have compatible relationships with is being able to identify them and connect with them based on the pattern of behaviors they demonstrate. That's the key. So when you work If you're new to me, I say this all the time. Patterns of behavior tell the truth. That's what you're looking for in this kind of interaction. Okay? So guys, that's today's training. This is what I teach you. We go in depth in the relationship strategy. The enrollment for the relationship strategy is open. Closes December 5th. The link is above on Facebook, below on YouTube. You can get all the details there. If you've got a question about pricing or a question about the course, whether it's appropriate for you or not in this world, show up to answers. I have this thing called Community Answers. You can click the link above on Facebook, again, below on YouTube. And you can meet with me online in a secure Zoom room. We can discuss your question and get you answers and direct you to what is most appropriate for you in your journey in happiness beyond codependency. So you can do that. You can email me. You can show up and talk live. You can chat with me. All the options are there for you. Okay? Guys, thank you for being here. Thank you for your trust and for your investment in me, both with your time and your interest, and for sharing my material and being a support in my efforts to bring this to the world. Because we don't have to be codependent. That's my mission. This is why I do it, is to help you discover that you're truly worth knowing, loving, and keeping, and then to experience life that is happy for you. And that includes healing your trauma. That includes knowing, loving, and liking who you are, and ultimately creating happy relationships in your life. So I encourage you, join the community, enroll in the relationship strategy. Let's get you started on your journey there. Okay? I appreciate you guys. Be safe out there. Happy holidays. Talk to you soon.